Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Review. Not so instant. Uh, Classic film, Die Hard, classic action film. You may have seen it, you may have not, but I just saw it Friday night. Dolby Digital, beautiful screen, beautiful sound, luxurious seat, wonderful experience. I had kind of forgotten about how good this movie is. And, why did I go see this movie? Well, first of all, I enjoy seeing these classics on the big screen. Second of all, on a personal level, Bruce Willis, one of my, I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite all-time actors, but definitely he's right up there. He's just a really charismatic guy. A lot of people don't even know how Bruce Willis got to be Bruce Willis, as in famous. There was a TV show called Moonlighting in the late 1980s. I think it started in 85, 87, 88 was kind of its peak. And Bruce Willis starred alongside Sybil Shepherd, who you might know. She played my mother in the film Hard Luck. So if you see the film Hard Luck, Wesley Snipes, Mario Van Peebles, 2006. Sybil Shepherd played by Mom. You might be wondering, if you're a younger person, well, who's this Sybil Shepherd? Well, assholes. She happened to be the Prell girl. What's Prell? It's a goddamn soap and shampoo company. She was in the film Taxi Driver. She played the political person that De Niro's character was stalking. She had her own sitcom in the mid-90s called Sybil. She was on the L Word in the mid-2000s. And in Hard Luck, she and I played mother and son. And so this show called Moonlighting was a big deal way back when. And Sybil Shepherd, it was about two detectives. And Sybil Shepherd, I believe her character Maggie Hayes, if I'm remembering correctly, inherited the company from, I believe, a dead husband. Her partner, her employee, was the Bruce Willis character. I want to say the name was David Atkinson or something like that. And of course, chemistry evolved. Okay, wonderful show, put Bruce Willis on the map. And at the time, it wasn't so often for celebrities to go back and forth between film and TV or whatever the fuck. But Bruce Willis was able to go from TV to film, and Die Hard was kind of his big coming out party as a film star. And the movie was well received. 1988. Also, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I believe it's a Harry Potter or a fucking Lord of the Rings actor. Alan, God, now I'm blanking on his name. Is it Alan Rickman? Plays the villain, the bad guy, the leader of the bad guys in Die Hard. So it's either Lord of the Rings. I think he's Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter stuff. He's in that, but as a younger man, a younger schnoot villain, he's in this. Who else? The cop, the other cop, the guy that becomes, it's kind of a buddy love movie. If you're familiar with Save the Cat, Blake Snyder, he has these divisions of film genres, and he talks about buddy love films, which are often buddy cop movies. So this is kind of an interesting buddy cop setup, because the two cops, the New York cop Bruce Willis and the local LA cop, they don't even get to meet in person until the last 2 minutes of the movie. Nice spoilers, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm going to spoil the movie. But should you see it? Yes, you should. I believe it's still playing for a couple of more days on the big screen. The gentleman who played the LA cop, he has a nice character arc. He had actually killed a 13-year-old boy in the exposition of this story, meaning before the movie starts taking place. We hear about that tragedy as the two cops are exchanging personal notes. And he hasn't fired his gun since, except at the end of the film when he is forced to. He saves Bruce Willis and his wife, his estranged wife, who's now come back around. Also, I'm just remembering all this stuff. When the wife has been using her maiden name for the duration of the film, because they're teetering on divorce, okay? But after this fucking Bruce Willis character has saved her ass and everybody else from near death from these terrorist bad guys, suddenly she wants to take his name back. So there you go, gentlemen. If your wife has lost interest in you, all you got to do is save the lives of 40 of her coworkers and herself and kill 9 or 10 or 12 bad guys, and then she'll resume being your proper wife with your proper last name. Nice goddamn lesson there, okay? So, what else? I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know what else to fucking say. I think the big thing, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine who chimed in that he said that one of his favorite movies of 2023 was the Mission Impossible movie, which I want to say is like the 6th or the 7th or whatever the fuck over the last 25 years. I really didn't understand that choice. I mean, I saw it. I didn't think it was bad. But, I mean, I think my problem with the action movies of today versus, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago is the timing, the tempo. In Die Hard, you know, you build up. I mean, for 10, 15 minutes before we get any real action, before the criminals are introduced, we see Bruce Willis. He's going through the airport. He has a certain machismo. He's making goo-goo eyes at the stewardess. He sees a hot woman in the airport, looks over at her. She jumps into the arms of some other guy. So we see that this guy is kind of struggling with his masculinity because he doesn't know what to do with it, because his wife has kind of turned her back on him to enjoy her job. He's a New York cop. She's been promoted in this company of sorts, this Japanese-owned company, and she's transferred to LA and brought the kids with her. And so their marriage is on the line, all these wonderful things. But we see that this guy has a certain swagger. And the basic moral, you know, one of the lessons of the movie is that the LA cop is able to handle himself in any situation. Like the LA, the scene with all these, you know, controversies are no match for a singular New York cop. You know what I mean? And back in the day, the 80s or whatever the fuck, Hill Street Blues, it was always like the New York cop was the highest form of manhood there was, okay? He even takes on the name Roy, paying tribute, homage to Roy Rogers, his hero, as we hear from his, you know, conversation with the other cop. Some loose ends on this film, and I've heard this before. There's a moment where the bad guy, played by Alan Rickman, is kind of hustling around, and the Bruce Willis guy, who's killing off the bad guys, finds him, and Rickman quickly is able to kind of fake that he is a hostage who's escaped, and they have this interesting scene. And then, you know, Bruce Willis, our guy there, Roy, he doesn't kill him. He even gives the guy a pistol, and then when the bad guy tries to shoot him with the pistol, there's no bullets in it. So it's like, it's a little confusing, because it's like if Willis, or the character, I'm trying to remember his fucking name now, if he knew that the guy was a bad guy, why didn't he kill him? Like, why didn't he just kill him? Why did he go through the charade and give him a gun? Or was he testing the guy? Was he kind of like half and half, didn't know if to believe him or not? It just seems it's a little bit odd. I mean, it's a great scene, but then the psychology of it is a little circumspect, or it's hard to follow, because it's like, was his suspicion that maybe this guy is a bad guy? Maybe he's not a hostage, but on the chance that he was a hostage, he wasn't just going to shoot him or beat him up. But yet he didn't fully get suckered. So I guess that's like splitting the difference. Like, okay, this guy might be legit hostage. I'm going to give him this gun as a test to see if he tries to shoot me. But I'm smart enough to not put the bullets in the gun, because if he tries to shoot me, he won't be able to kill me. I guess that's the thinking. What else? Oh, God. See, the good thing about this movie, and look, I mean, I don't want to shit on certain movies, but I guess I will. Every death in Die Hard, every kill, every fight scene, every act of violence, whether it's the bad guys, you know, shooting the boss in the head, or whether it's Willis killing these guys, or whatever the fuck it is, all the acts of violence have a reason. And I believe that's why I don't go see things like Saw. Like, I have no interest in that. And honestly, things like Terrifier and shit like that, I might see it, I might enjoy it, but I can tell you that some of these movies, the violence is unearned. It's just torture porn or murder porn, whatever you want to call it. This movie, the deaths are warranted, the violence is warranted. You know, even the bad guys, they're doing things for a reason. Now, it turns out just to be for money. They're kind of putting on this facade of being revolutionaries or whatever the fucks, but they're really not. They're just looking for $640 million. It's kind of funny because when they talk about the money in this movie, and they say that the fund that they're looking to steal $640 million, at the time, that was a big deal. It still is a big deal. But that's kind of reminds me of the Austin Powers saying $1 million, you know, like 640 million. That's like LeBron James, you know, 2 seasons in a fucking Pepsi commercial or something. Just funny. What else? I just like the movie. I mean, I enjoyed sitting there watching it, and I think the point of it I'm trying to make here is the tempo, the timing. A former friend of mine once said that what he liked about the old school wrestling, he was specifically talking about the Don Morocco Jimmy Snuka cage match from '82, or was it '83? I guess it was '83. Was the pacing, the lulls, the dramatic lulls. And I think that's why something like Die Hard works, in my opinion, better than a Mission Impossible from 2022 or 2023 or whatever the fuck else, because the dramatic lulls gives the audience time to kind of want something to happen. You know what I mean? Instead of just getting bombarded with all this activity. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. A lot of times when I see these movies these days, and I go to the movies all the time, but if I see a certain action film, I just know that I'm going to probably fall asleep, because oddly enough, when the movie is too loud or there's just too much shit flying on the screen, too many, you know, violent scenes or car crashes or whatever the fucks, and all the fight scenes look the same now. Somebody was saying that to me, like they all look like, ooh, you know, like some type of jujitsu shit. I just kind of tune out and I get tired, and my brain just kind of collapses and I end up falling asleep. So I don't know if anybody, you fuckers, are like that or not. If you are, leave a comment, and I probably won't give a shit, but I'll leave a response just to make you feel good. But the reality is, just the movies are just different. Well, Die Hard, you know, I went to see this thing. It started at 10:15 at night. And, you know, and I just was captivated, okay? I was just very enamored with it. I hadn't seen the movie in quite some time, but I really enjoyed it. So my tip of the hat, I'll put the fucking hat on just so I can tip it and say thanks, Bruce Willis. And I don't know if I said this earlier. I don't think I did. I think I cut myself off. Another reason to see this film, folks, is that Bruce Willis apparently is not doing too well health-wise. His family, I believe his ex-wife, Demi Moore, they always had a weird thing. Like, they got divorced and they're still friends and all that shit. But she's kind of been reporting the bad news. I think Willis got remarried, and the new wife reported the bad news, and it's all very sad and so forth. So I kind of saw this movie as a tribute, okay? Just because that's the type of human being I am. That's the type of ethics I have. I mean, not that Bruce Willis is going to care one way or the other, but in some metaphysical way, maybe he would. For Christ's sakes. So, I mean, I'm just watching this movie and I'm thinking, man, you know, I'm such a better actor than a lot of the people in this movie, in many movies, so I should just be acting more and doing all these goddamn wonderful things. Now, you assholes can go out and buy my fucking book, Fight or Play Basketball. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful novel that I wrote. You can buy all the things that I do, foreign object eBay store. You can do all that goddamn horse shit. But, you know, were I to get sick, a la, you know, Bruce Willis there, what the hell are you going to do for me? You know what I mean? So the point is, you want to stay healthy as long as you fucking can. It's a sick world we're in, and that's it. So I like Die Hard. Very good, everyone. Very good, Bruce Willis. Thanks for watching Mike's